Postmodernism project number 3. The first poem I did was Courage by Anne Sexton. As Diamond says, a big characteristic of postmodernism is the lack of change. Courage by Anne Sexton sort of says that we cannot change what we are afraid of, so we must have the courage to stand up for it. And she talks about all the different things as you grow you have to stand up to. Another characteristic of postmodernism that Diamond mentions is the lack of individual, or the emphasis on the individual and not a group. Sexton says that you have to be courageous for yourself and no one else. She says, if your buddy saved you and died himself, in doing so his courage was not courage, it was love. This is saying that you can't be courageous for anyone else but yourself. So everything is about you, sort of. And she also says that you're alone until you meet death, which happens at the end of the poem. And so you have to be courageous leading up until those moments. Diamond says that we have many things to be afraid of in postmodernism because of things such as the atomic bomb and the Cold War. And Sexton sort of saying that in her poem about courage that we have to be courageous because these fears are going to be there and they're not going to change. Human nature is also involved in courage by Sexton. It's sort of the development of human nature as we grow into adults and live our lives, and how the courage changes through when you're an infant. It's about walking. Through when you get older, it's things such as dealing with the atomic bombs and the Cold War. Anne Sexton's life greatly impacted her poetry. She battled with a mental illness throughout her whole life, and she spent a lot of time alone in hospitals, which gave her a lot of time to write. One of her psychoanalysts read her work, and it really encouraged her to keep writing, so she continued. And as a child, she had an abusive childhood, and she had suicide attempts, which sort of played into some of the depressing themes of her poems, such as courage ending in death instead of triumph. In the end of her life, she ended up killing herself, which can kind of be seen through the depression throughout her poetry. This is all according to her biography by Boswell Marshall and Carl Wollesen. My second poem is The Bridge by Shel Silverstein. As Warlock says, postmodernism includes many symbols and metaphors. In The Bridge by Shel Silverstein, he says the bridge will only take you halfway there. And this is sort of a metaphor for like coasting through life will only get you halfway to where you want to be. And it uses nature as a unification of life and the courage to make it to somewhere beautiful or in real life where you want to be in your life. So it's saying that this bridge will take you to this beautiful place where you can be and then live your life in happiness. And in postmodernism, Warlock says that it is only set in the present, which is true in The Bridge by Shel Silverstein, because he's saying that you're working in the present to get to where you want to be in your life, which in this case is the American dream of being happy. Human nature is also incorporated in the poem, and it says in human nature it's not what you want to be to yourself, but like what you could do